warm welcome to you all to the latest edition of the Tyre Recycling Podcast. Before we dive into today's episode, we have a special request for you. Currently, only 13% of our dedicated audience have hit that subscribe button, and we're aiming to boost that figure to 20%. Achieving this goal depends on your active participation. So, before you indulge in this video or tune into our podcast, kindly click on that subscribe button. Your subscription not only helps expand the reach of our content, but also paves the way for greater investments in future episodes. Join our community today by subscribing. Your support means the world to us. So, now we've done that, let's start and get stuck in to today's exciting content. Welcome to episode 54 of the Tyre Recycling Podcast. Today's episode is a special interview with the CEO and chairman of Ecolomondo, Eliot Sorella. We've been trying to get Eliot on the podcast for a while now, so we were particularly excited to finally sit down and talk all things Ecolomondo. Here now is that interview with Eliot Sorella from Ecolomondo.
So first things first, Eliot, can you introduce yourself and your role at Ecolomondo?
I'm Eliot Sorella. I'm the CEO and chairman of the Ecolomondo Corporation.
Okay, and what exactly has Ecolomondo been doing recently?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
What has Ecolomondo been doing lately? How have you progressed?
Well, as you know, Ecolomondo has been building right through COVID a plant that's just now under 50 million Canadian, and the plant has been constructed, fully commissioned, and we're now at the stage where we began our commercial ramp up, and we started to ship some product to clients. And we hope from this, once this plant is fully running, to break ground in Texas.
Okay, so that's the Hawkesbury plant where you've upscaled the pilot from Confricure, yeah?
That's well, the Confricure was at industrial scale. So what we did was basically a copy paste with certain technological improvements.
Okay, and the Shamrock project, you haven't started that yet?
Well, we're well on our way with the Shamrock. We purchased the land. The infrastructures are being put into it: oil, gas, and water, gas, and sewage. So we're ready to go as soon as the Hawkesbury plant is up and running. That can give our focus to Shamrock, Texas. That plant will be 3 times the size of our Hawkesbury plant.
Okay, so I recall, I think it was back in 2016, you spoke at the TRAC conference in Niagara Falls, and you spoke very eloquently about the environmental aspects of the business. Could you perhaps recap that and the environmental motivation behind the business?
So for us at Ecolomondo, processing waste has to be done in a manner that you're taking waste and you're producing products that can't be reused in some way into industry and be brought into the circular economy. If you making waste and creating, not selling it, it serves no purpose. We at Ecolomondo have known that, and that's been one of the bedrocks of our philosophy at the plant. We have to produce quality products, recovered obviously, and give it to industry in a manner that's acceptable to them and manner that they can reuse to produce other products. At Ecolomondo, we believe that we've achieved that threshold, and products that are being manufactured in Contrecoeur, our pilot plant, were sold. But we had to gain momentum and improve the quality. We took, at Hawkesbury, we took that quality and brought it one step further, where not only do we create the products that we generate from the waste, but we process them, improve them, and bring them to market in a manner that's packaged the way they want, and in a manner that is of quality and consistency. Consistency is very important. You don't want to have a good product one day, a bad product another day. You know, companies could relate to, give me a product, whatever it is, we'll adjust to it. So we try to avoid that, where we give it to them on a consistent basis. And we have ways to achieve those deliverables.
Yeah, it's important for the rubber industry in particular, especially the tire sector, that the feedstock we get is to that consistency and specification, and also to a volume that they require. How are you going to meet the volumes that the industry will require?
Well, you know, if you look at the whole industry as a whole, our competitors, many of them are at their pilot scale. Many of them are trying to build plants. Some of them are proprietary, some of them are not proprietary. Okay? So there's a whole variety of insecurities created. Capital is one of them. Feedstock is another. Okay, we kind of overcome all of that. We have our own proprietary technology. We have many, many inventions, thanks to our pilot plant, that allowed us to overcome a lot of obstacles and uncertainties that still plagues some of our competitors. So the case here is that there's really no clear front runner in the industry as of today. We at Ecolomondo strive to make quality products, and corporately, we want to do a rollout where we can build more of these plants. And how do we will achieve that? Well, we at Ecolomondo, we have taken everything that we learned at our pilot plant and brought it to Hawkesbury. But what we brought the most was all the engineering plans. And the way we're building these plants, we're building them in modules. One module is 2 reactors. That is our smallest plant. So if we're going to Texas and we want to build a plant that's 3 times the size, then we just build 3 modules. Everything, most of all the other equipment is off-the-shelf equipment. It's the technical, it's the way you decompose the waste, the way you process it, that's important. You have to worry about emissions. Your heat curve, you know, is extremely important. Your process parameters, they all have to be consistent. How do we achieve this? We achieve it by having an automation system that is consistent. So when you're processing the same tire or same type of tire, using the same residency time, using the same process parameters, chances are your output is going to be same. So that's the way we achieve it. So our time to deliver from beginning to the end, no matter what the size of the plant, okay, we can roll it out in 18 to 24 months. So we've started with our Shamrock plant is going to be the first out of Canada, but we have other locations in the US on site. And we're also looking into Europe. And we have a lot of demand. But our philosophy is not to build these plants for third parties. We'll bring in third parties as joint venture partners, but our philosophy is to build them and operate them for ourselves.
Yeah, if you operate them, you maintain control and you can make sure that you sustain the standards. You mentioned emissions there, and that was one question I would like to ask you. Can you enlighten us as to what your emissions are and how you control them?
Well, I can tell you our process, the emissions is done basically by the burning of our syngas. And so we do have a CO2 environmental footprint. However, when you take into consideration the amount of CO2 that it takes to create a similar product that would take 8 or 9 or 10 times the emissions to create the same amount, we can almost say that we're our mass balance is CO2 negative. So, and we all know that most pyrolysis companies that are processing tires, their claim to fame, including us, we save 90% on CO2 emissions. However, what your CO2 emissions, you have to make sure that everything is done in a clean manner, green. The only way you're going to find out if you're doing that is if you monitor your emissions in real time at all times during your processing. You want to make sure that the burners are burning clean. You don't want to create NOx. You want to make sure that the syngas that you're reusing, like in our case, you want to avoid all the contaminants they're put in. So we scrub them. And then after we burn them, we actually monitor our emissions. We have a whole control system for all the stacks that we have in the building. And we know very clearly that our emissions are at the lower scale rather than the higher scale. That's why we've been able to get all of our permits in a really fast track manner. We received our permits from Canada in 7 or 8 months. So we abide by the rules. We understand the rules in Canada may not fit US. We understand in Europe it works a little different. So it's different all over, but our process is flexible enough to adapt.
Yeah, so you invest in the technology to maintain low emissions. And those, just to clarify for myself, those emissions are much lower in a pyrolysis plant than they would be in a virgin carbon black plant.
Most definitely. And we go back a few years now, so I like to do things a little bit out of the box. When I spoke at that symposium, I was almost, everybody was talking about circular economy, but a lot of people didn't understand what the circular economy was in those days. I kind of brought a reality check to it, but to the people that were listening. However, that reality check, okay, I bring it to my people all the time. You have to do things right. If you want to succeed in the recycling business today, you got to do things right. You have to worry about safety. Employee safety is critical. Okay, so you have to worry about your emissions. You have to worry about your product. You have to worry about being commercially viable. There's many, many things. That you have to worry about. We understand that. If you would drive up to the Ecolomondo building, you would think it's a building just like any other building, commercial building or industrial building. It's green grass and everything. We store no product, and we do everything in real time. We have a large silo for the rubber crumb. We hold 200,000 pounds in it. So we're able to unload the trailers with tires just in time. So we understood. I'm not here to tell you we just achieved all the deliverables that we wanted to achieve, or there's deliverables we haven't even thought about. But technologically, we're sound. Okay, environmentally, we're trying our best, and we are achieving at least the standards and the deliverables set up by the various governments, and we're doing it in a safe environment. One thing, Ian, that most pyrolysis companies don't even consider is H2S. H2S is a very toxic gas that's generated by the process. So we at Ecolomondo have even taken care of that. Our plant is certified for lethal operation because of the H2S. So we've taken all the measures, safety measures for employees. We've built our reactors in such a way, stainless steel piping, we pressure welded, helium tested for leaks. We've achieved all of that. And the plant is completely certified by all the authorities. And to do that, you have to do things the right way. If not, you'd still be on the drawing board. The plant in Texas, in Hawkesbury, because it was the first one built through COVID, it was a step-by-step fix. I have investors. Everybody's very anxious. Investors are anxious. I'm the biggest investor. I'm anxious, but patience brings a lot of fruit in this industry. You can't cut corners. And I really, being the CEO of the company, I can tell you we haven't cut 0 corners in our plant in Hawkesbury, neither the one in Contrecoeur over the years. So doing it right for me is pivotal.
Eagle International is a leading designer and manufacturer of tyre shears, balers, sidewall cutters, debeaders and derimmers. However, one of their key focuses is on downsizing tyres to make recycling and reusing a whole lot easier. Eagle International builds equipment that can process anything as small as 20-inch ATV tyres through to 59, 80, R63 OTR tyres. Eagle provides a line of 6 tyre shears that cover all sizes of tyres. The TC Gator is perfect for small operations and cleanly cut up to 20-inch pickup SUV tyres. Then we have the original hydraulic tyre shear, the True Cut. First patented by Eagle International in 1994, the True Cut is a quality tyre shear that can handle super single truck tyres. Next is the Tough Cut, followed by the Tough Cut 2. Both are perfect for smaller OTR tyres and feature hydraulic lifts and 4-sided rotatable cutting blades which are designed to cleanly slice through a tyre, leaving no additional waste to clear away. Rounding off their offerings are the Titan and the Titan 2, which are designed to handle the largest tyres that you can throw at it. The Titan can cut through 27.00 R49 and the Titan 2 can process 59/ATR63 that have been bagel cut by the Eagle Punch Cutter series of tyre splitters. Eagle International tyre recycling equipment is here to help you reduce size, reduce waste, and reduce impact. You can find out more by visiting eagle-equipment.com. Now, after that message from our sponsor Eagle International, it's time to return to the Tyre Recycling Podcast.
That is great to hear. There are so many opportunists in the business just now. We see almost every week there's a new operation going to make carbon black, which is always a giveaway that they haven't thought things out properly, shall we say.
You know, I am an opportunist. I just want to keep that in mind. You know, I'm in it for different reasons, but in today's market, where pricing for recovered products they are at all-time highs, and the demand is climbing, you know, nonstop. So the company that will become the front runner in this industry is the company that will be where its customers, the stakeholders, the people they do business with, they say it. I'm a businessman. I promote the company, but the most important thing is get acceptance. That acceptance has taken a long time, but it's certainly coming, at least for the people that are serious, companies that are serious in the industry. And there are a few, you see. So, and I compliment them because I said in a speech at the Recovered Carbon Black Symposium last year, there's a lot of room for a lot of players. The problem here that everybody's looking to make sure that their process is the holy grail, and whereas we should be looking together to find that holy grail. So everybody could make money, could succeed, trade successes, but that's not happening here. Why? Because the industry has not expanded. It's getting there, where the major players are tire companies. They're getting there, but they also have to get there with huge investments, because doing it right does take a huge amount of investments.
For sure, for sure. And getting the trust of tire manufacturers in particular, it takes a lot of time and a lot of proof of process and product. So,
Well, it doesn't take too long to scratch a check. You're looking at R&D and technological, but before you get there, you got to invest. And they're getting there slowly, but certainly nowhere close to where it needs to be. I do not, I would not sell my company, or I say my company, it's a publicly listed company, but that's why I work so hard. I guess I still figure it's mine. But tire companies play a role. They are increasing their role. They're taking pyrolysis a lot more serious, and they understand the game and the risks, not having enough virgin carbon black. So you have to mitigate that risk, and the only way you can do it, because they're more we're gonna have a little bit more carbon black this year than last year, but the tire companies are just swallowing it up, and a lot of the surrounding type of industries, that serve the automotive, they also will take more, your car moldings and what this, because more cars are being produced. The population keeps expanding. There's more middle class people, on the planet today than there was last year. So this will all require new consumer products. It will all require more investment. They will all require more carbon black, more products. And that's where the recovered products coming in. Okay? And today we have so little of recovered carbon black. It's because it's all new. Companies are just starting to take it serious. Investors. I mean, in my own case, I bought Ecolomondo in 2008. But the company existed for well over 20 years before I bought it. But the investors ran out of cash. That's how I got into it. But I got involved. Ecolomondo's been fortunate. I've supplied the cash over the years. See, so I was a very patient investor, and it allowed it to get to the point where it was. If not, we would gone by the wayside like many pyrolysis companies have done. So I'm very proud of our team, because without the technology, without the inventions, I mean, it's mind-boggling to me every time I walk into that plant, A, that I'm even involved, and B, where humans could achieve what they can achieve. And this, is pyrolysis. It's simple technology overall when you look at many other complicated technologies.
Yeah, pyrolysis. It's a long-standing technology. It's how we apply it in the modern age to make it work as we need it. And I congratulate you on the work you've done with Ecolomondo and bringing it to the stage it's at now. Now you say that there are no clear front runners, but I think if we were to look at a grouping of the best prospects, I think Ecolomondo would be in there, and that's largely thanks to you and your team.
I agree with you. I think Ecolomondo is one of the players. I mean, given the chance and what we know, we went from trying to sell these plants over the years to now we decide the location. We do all the necessary, we look for a feedstock, local government support, state government support in the US, obviously. Okay, but we're talking to about a half a dozen other interests throughout the planet. So these are all things, that will eventually come online because we decide and we find the necessary capital to build these plants. All we ask the governments is to support us in whatever grants, programs they have, and that was we asked. We asked them to support us with the purchase of the land, and these are the kind of things we asked them, because our plants, we bring a lot of economic benefit to whatever region where we build this plant. And that's pivotal for these governments. So they're getting a double whammy. They're getting a problem resolved and they're making money with it. Same way we do it. We resolve a problem, we make money with it. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. And especially in certain parts of the world, I don't have to tell you, tires are still a major plague.
Yeah, but there's a massive market out there waiting for the right technology. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add, Eliot?
I pretty said it all, Ewan. I see things in a very optimistic manner. I see, a bright future ahead for pyrolysis. Certain events, geopolitical events that are happening in the world have aided, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons, so I'll stay steadfast to the cause, and as long, God willing, I'll see this company become a major player in the industry. And I really believe that Ecolomondo in the future will become a great company in terms of pyrolysis, corporate leadership, if you want, because I have a team of middle management that are exceptional young men. Most of them are PhDs and MBAs. So I'm going as a senior gentleman going forward. I'm not ready for retirement yet, but I'll see this, see I will see Ecolomondo expand and achieve some of the goals and deliverables that I've set out to do. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Great stuff. Thank you very much for your time, Eliot.
Okay.
It's a pleasure speaking to you. As I say, the first time I heard you speak was at the symposium at Niagara Falls, and you impressed me then, and you're still impressing me today. Thank you for your
Thank you. I really appreciate the compliment, Ewan.
With just a few days to go in the voting for the 2023 Recircle Awards, I thought I'd spend some time looking at the awards and nominees for the Tyre recycling sector. Since we've just concluded an interview with Ecolomondo, it seems appropriate to start with the Tyre Pyrolysis Award, where once again they are nominated. Ecolomondo are competing against Silver Collaborator Contec SA, Tyre Chile, Pyrum Innovations, and the two-time winner of this award, Scandinavian Envirosystems, who will be a tough nut to crack. Competition is extremely high in this category, with another former Recircle Award winner, Pyrum Innovations, involved as well. It'll be interesting to see if anyone can stop Scandinavian Envirosystems from winning the award for a third consecutive year. For the first time in 2023, we are also offering an award that promotes tyre devulcanization. This award has seen some first-time nominees to the Recircle Awards in the form of Rubber Matters from India, EFG Polymers from the USA, and DRI Rubber from the Netherlands. GRP Limited are competing in this category too, and Recircle Awards aficionados might be familiar with the company after their nomination in the 2022 Best Tyre Recycler category. Tyremer have also been nominated, who have been nominated in every edition of the Recircle Awards so far, from the Employee of the Year Award with Ankita Saikia to the Business Breakthrough Award. Now let's move on to another new category, which is the Mechanical Tyre Recycling Award, which was intended to promote the contribution to the tyre recycling sector by companies specialising in mechanical tyre recycling processes. Once again, we have some new names from Latin America in this category, in the shape of Duramos SAS and Rembry Tyres from Colombia and Chile, respectively. We also have some more established names in Recircle Award circles, in Gainan, Ecova, and Murfitts, who have all been nominated in previous editions of the Recircle Awards. Whatever way we like it, we will be seeing a new winner in the Recircle Awards in the tyre devulcanization category. One of our more established categories is the Best Tyre Recycling Industry Supplier Award, which has been won by EcoGreen Equipment in both editions of the Recircle Awards in 2021 and 2022. They will be looking to make it a three-peat in 2023 with their nomination. But they will be up against it with two-time nominees Eldam Recycling and Fornax, both keen to win their debut Recircle Awards. Rubberjet Valley, who have been nominated for the first time in this category, will also provide stiff competition after being nominated in the Best Tyre Recycling Innovation Award in 2021. Also competing are new entrant Tyres Navarro from Spain. Back for a second year is the Best EPR Scheme category, which was won by Seginas in Ecuador last time out, who have been nominated once again. Returning nominees include Silver Collaborators SDAB from Sweden and Cygnus Ecovalor from Spain. The new entrants for this category are both first-time nominees for the Recircle Awards in Circle ELT from Ireland and Valor Penu from Portugal. Equally back for a second year is the Best Tyre Recycling Research Project, which intends to shine a light on some of the best research projects going on in the tyre recycling sector. Nominated for this award, we have the well-established Black Cycle project, which is one of the largest projects in this field and mostly consists of tyre-derived products generated by pyrolysis. Also nominated are GEC Compounds for their research into the creation of Genesis evolution compounds. And also, Sustern Lab have two nominations. The first nomination comes with Patricio Muñoz, who has investigated the recovery and reuse of tyre sawdust in the manufacture of solid tyres for forklifts. And their second nomination concerns the research into the extraction of T-Fight from tyres, whereby the graphite is upgraded from RCB to create the anode in a battery. The final nominee here is Maria Esther Fernandez, who has researched the use of textile waste from ELTs for the production of fibre cement plates and roof tiles. Whoever wins this award will certainly be a deserving winner for their contribution to the sustainability of the tyre industry. Now, the final category we are looking at today is the Best Tyre-Derived Recycled Product category. Tyres have been nominated for a second time for their Green City panels, which is a sustainable alternative to plastic-based retention layers for green roofs. Michelin are nominated once again in this recycling category, but this time out, the nomination comes for the development of tyres which use large volumes of recovered carbon black. Tyre Global, another returning nominee, has been nominated for their evaporation inhibitor floating panels. These panels have the ability to save billions of litres of water evaporation from dams and reservoirs. Furthermore, Chilean company Rubtech Spa are also competing with their Rubtech rubber bumpers. These rubber bumpers are made with stainless steel bushing, and the composition of the bumper's body is made with 90% used tyre-derived material. The final nominee is Shredded Tyre, who have been recognised for their Miami Eco construction blocks from scrap tyres. This product has been manufactured by taking tyre mulch with nylon strands and blending it with Portland cement and waste slag to achieve an 87% certified recycled content. So there you go, and that's it for the recycling categories in the 2023 Recircle Awards. Remember that you must be a registered voter to vote in the Recircle Awards. You can register by clicking on the Register tab on the Recircle Awards website and then following the on-screen instructions. If you have already registered, you can simply use your login credentials and start voting. Voting closes on September the 8th, so get your vote in quickly. Before we wrap up today's episode, we would just like to leave a short message of condolence for the family, friends and colleagues of Federico De Sena, the general manager of Ecolomondo. I've only known and worked with Federico for a few years since he joined the tyre recycling industry, but in the short time I've known him, he was always a pleasure to work with. He was always very friendly and very keen to be interviewed for the Tyre Recycling podcast. And he was certainly a massive help to me, my father, Ewan, during the Recircle Awards event we held at Autopromotech last year. During Autopromotech, I fondly remember talking about my upcoming holidays to Venice and Lake Como in May. And so for me personally, and for Tyre, everyone at Tyre Rubber Recycling, it's brought us great sadness to hear of his passing. Now then, that is all for today's Tyre Recycling podcast. We'll be returning very shortly with episode 55.